Today we're going to talk about a feeling that is so common, but we hardly ever talk about it. It's that quiet, nagging sense that you're somehow invisible. A feeling that can stick with you your whole life, really shaping how you see yourself and how you connect with other people. Just think about it for a second. In your friend group, at your job, maybe even with your family. Have you ever had that awful sinking feeling that if you just weren't there anymore, your spot would be filled up pretty quick without much of a fuss? Okay, so let's see if any of this hits home. When you get hurt emotionally or physically, is your first instinct to say, I'm fine, it's not a big deal? Do you find it almost impossible to ask for help? And are you always automatically putting everyone else's needs ahead of your own? If you're nodding along right now, you're in the right place. So, what is going on here? If you feel like this, it's not just you being dramatic or needy. No way. It's actually a really recognizable pattern that shows up for a lot of adults. And this is so important. It's not just some random, vague feeling. It actually has a name and it has a backstory. And according to the source material we're digging into, just understanding where it comes from, well, that's the first step to changing that whole story you tell yourself. So what is it called? Well, the psychological research we're exploring calls it the ignored child syndrome. And yeah, it sounds pretty heavy, I know. But really, it's just a way of describing a specific kind of emotional history. So let's break that down. It's a pattern that can start when, as a kid, your feelings, your joy, your sadness, your fears just weren't really seen or validated. It doesn't mean you weren't loved, not at all. It just means your emotions were treated like they were inconvenient. And over time, you actually start to believe that they are. This is the million-dollar question, right? What does it actually look like for a kid to be emotionally unseen? How does this whole feeling of invisibility even start? To figure that out, we have to go back. It really all boils down to the emotional climate you grew up in and the powerful, quiet lessons it taught you about whether or not you mattered. Okay, this slide just lays it out so clearly. Think about it. You've got two different paths. In one house, a kid falls, scrapes their knee. The parent says, "Oh, wow, that looks like it really hurts. Come on, let's get you cleaned up." The lesson, my pain is real and it's important. But in the other house, that same kid gets, "You're fine, stop crying, it's just a scratch." The lesson there is just as clear, but it's so much more damaging. My feelings are a problem, they're a burden. And this isn't just some pop psychology idea. This kind of early programming literally builds what psychologists call our attachment patterns. Think of it like a blueprint for how all of our future relationships are supposed to work. If you learn super early on that your needs don't matter, you carry that blueprint with you into adulthood, and you don't even know you're doing it. And you can see how this becomes this really sad domino effect. Step one, your feelings get ignored. Step two, you learn to ignore them yourself, to push them down. And then step three, you become an adult who literally doesn't know how to ask for what you need, whether it's asking for a raise or just telling your partner what would make you happy. There's just this little voice inside that's always whispering, don't bother, it's not important. So, what does that leave you with? What is the legacy of this ghost child that you end up carrying around as an adult? Wow. Just let that one sink in for a second. An expert at disappearing in plain sight. That's it, isn't it? You can be in a room full of people, you can be laughing and talking, but on the inside, you feel completely and totally invisible. You're great at supporting everyone else, but you never, ever take up any space for yourself. And there it is. We've come full circle. This is exactly why we started with that question about feeling replaceable. Because if nobody ever taught you that your presence, your feelings, your unique self was absolutely essential, how could you possibly believe you're irreplaceable? You learned how to be a ghost. And ghosts, well, they don't leave a hole when they're gone. Just understanding this pattern, like we've been talking about, is a massive first step. The journey from here is all about learning to finally see yourself. So I guess the most important question we can leave you with is this. If you've spent your whole life being a ghost, what's one tiny thing you could do today to start becoming visible? Not to anyone else, just to yourself.